Hello. The article I chose to review for you today is called Value-Added Predictors of Expressive and Receptive Language Growth in Initially Nonverbal Preschoolers with Autism Spectrum Disorders. The authors are Yoder, Watson, and Lambert, and it was published in 2015. Their research question or purpose was out of 9 predictors that they chose, which ones can predict language growth expressively and which ones can predict language growth receptively. The predictors that they chose to focus on were attention during child-directed speech, responding to others' bids for joint attention, early receptive language, intentional communication, motor imitation, parent linguistic responses to child leads, non-imitative oral motor functioning, early consonant inventory, and object play. This study was a longitudinal correlational design separated by 12 to 16 months. So they did an evaluation at one point, and then 12 to 16 months later did another evaluation. The participants were 87 children who were between 24 and 48 months old at the first time of testing and had a clinical diagnosis of ASD. The independent variables were the measures that they used for study. So they used parent questionnaires, standardized assessments, behavior samplings. They used the ADOS and the Mullen skills and others to compare within that 1 year period language growth. Inter-observer reliability was documented by independently coding a random sample of 20% of all coded sessions. So they coded all of these sessions and all of these results from the questionnaires and the measurement procedures. All the inter-observer data was above 90%, so all very reliable. The results indicate that responding to joint attention, intentional communication, and parent linguistic responses were the value-added predictors of both expressive and receptive language. So they felt like those were the key ones that would really provide language growth. Their conclusions was that this was the most comprehensive test of added value of early predictors of expressive and receptive language growth, and that it's unnecessary and inefficient to target all predictors, but we should target the ones that they specifically mentioned: the joint attention, intentional communication, and parent linguistic responses. The limitations that they discussed were that because it was a correlational design, over time, they could not rule out all covariating variables that might explain the associations between predictors and language growth. They also mentioned that the time length between measurements was 12 to 16 months. So for some predictors, they measured it at 12 and others for 16 months. And so there's some variability there. And that they also only looked at a subset of all possible predictors. So there you have it. It was very interesting. Thank you.